Welcome to the Better Life Podcast. I'm April. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Let me ask you something. Are you feeling a little bit worn out, maybe on the verge of burnout? That's what I want to talk to you about today, about not wearing yourself out. Just saying, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to take care of me. Now, what do I mean about feeling worn out? You know that point when you feel like you've taken on too much, you start to feel overwhelmed. You know, I've heard the saying, life is like a roller coaster ride. There's ups and downs and you scream a lot along the way. Do you feel like you're screaming a lot along the way? You know, life is pulling at you from all different directions. And sometimes, if we're honest, it's all we can do is stay afloat. I remember when I was younger, I was going to my best friend's house down the street, and I was going to hop on my bike and ride just about a block down the street. And I had done it a million times. Now, back when I was little, you could leave your dogs in the front yard because most dogs were okay. They were friendly dogs, except one dog catty-cornered from me in our house. His name was Osteen. Had no idea what that meant, but Osteen was chained up because he looked like he was going to eat you when you went by. So I hopped on my bike. I started going down the street. I heard Osteen barking. I didn't think much about it. But I started hearing Osteen bark a little bit closer and a little bit closer. I felt like something wasn't right, and I looked down by my foot right near the pedal, and there was Osteen. He had gotten loose off of his chain, and he looked like he was going to eat me. I started pedaling like you wouldn't believe. I was about 7 years old. My feet were going faster and faster. I was trying to stay upright and keep Osteen away. What happened next was pretty unusual. The other dogs on the street never chased me, but Osteen he charged up the other dogs on my street, and I looked around and there was 8 dogs chasing me. My little skinny legs pedaling so fast, trying to keep the dogs from biting my legs. I was doing all I could to keep my balance. I was trying to stay away from Osteen on this side, stay away from the other dogs on this side. I was going fast and praying hard. God, just let me make it to my friend's house. I got to the stop sign, and by this time, the dogs had kind of, tapered off. They weren't chasing me anymore. Got off my bike at the stop sign, and I turned around. I was worn out. I felt like, man, I had had a day at 7 years old. I looked back at all those dogs and I thought, I can't believe I made it. I can't believe I didn't fall down. I got back on my bike, ready to go to my friend's house, played with her a little while, and then I came back, got off my bike at the same stop sign, and realized I had to do the whole thing all over again. I had to go face those dogs again. And honestly, I didn't know if I could do it. And to be real honest with you, I didn't want to do it again. How true is that for us in our lives? We have all this stuff pulling at us. We have this coming at us from one direction and this coming at another direction, and we feel pulled in all these different directions, and it's all we can do to stay balanced, to stay steady, and to keep on going. Now, I never knew what Osteen meant until that day that he chased me. I realized it meant demon dog from the pit of Hades. One thing we have to do if we're going to just stop wearing ourselves out is we've got to identify the Osteens in our life. Now, you'll never forget that name. Now, what do I mean by that? What are those Osteens? What are those things that are pulling at me and just trying to knock me off my feet? Maybe it's me putting too much on my plate. Maybe it's me saying yes to too much, or maybe you're thinking that you're Wonder Woman or Superman and you're stretching yourself too thin. Or maybe a Osteen might be you're trying to be like others. Maybe people you see on social media who, you've seen them, who cook like a chef, decorate like a pro, exercise 3 hours every day, write a journal, write a book in their spare time, wake up looking great, seemingly the perfect life. And what happens? We get overwhelmed, which leads to stress, which leads to anxiety and can lead to panic and depression, and it also can lead to burnout. Y'all, we have to stop wearing ourselves out. We have to identify those Osteens. We have to take our life back. If you're in the place right now, or maybe getting close to burnout, to being worn out, I want to share a few things with you that I think that will help you get back on track, get out of paralysis analysis, and into the life where you can actually breathe and enjoy all those people that God has so graciously placed in your life. Let me give you a few things. Number one is very important. Focus on what's important to you. Now, that should be kind of easy if we think about it. Just sit down. What is important to me? Is it my kids, my family, my spouse, my job? Is it important for me to keep my joy? Is it important to have family dinners, family night? Whatever it might be, figure out what your priorities are. And then weed out the time wasters. Weed out those joy stealers, the things that are stressing you out to the nth degree. I'll say it again. You are in control of you. Do what's necessary to live that abundant, joy-filled life that God has promised. Nothing will change if you don't change something today. So, figure out what your priorities are. Number two, learn to say no. I know this is hard for some people, but the truth is this: you don't have to do it all. You don't have to be all things to all people. You've got to learn to stick to your priorities. Don't get sidetracked by people who aren't on your track. And don't compare yourself to the person who seems to be doing it all and is happy and makes life look so incredibly easy. Remember, you're seeing other people's highlight reels and not the real story. And besides that, this is about you. It's about your family. It's about your circle. Stop putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. It's a 2-letter word, and it's really easy to say. No, you can do it. You can say no, thank you. You know, time is valuable. Time is one of your most important assets, and we all have the same 24 hours in every single day. You have to decide to prioritize what to do and what not to do. Learn to say no. Number 3, figure out what makes life easier. Now, this is important. I can think about a time when my kids were younger. It was going to be Thanksgiving feast the week before Thanksgiving. And on the Tuesday before Thursday of the Thanksgiving feast, my kids, all 5 of them, informed me that I was supposed to bring a turkey, dressing, corn, dessert, cups, plates, drinks, napkins, silverware. And if that wasn't enough, I was supposed to bring enough for 40 people. Jesus, take the wheel and take it from me now. I was about to stress out. Not only did I have to provide lunch for the entire nation, but I had to go out of town and speak that very same day. It was Tuesday. I had to leave on Thursday. I had to bring lunch for the neighborhood on that Thursday. I had to have everything ready by Thursday morning. I was stressed, and at that point, I wondered, why in the world did I have so many kids? I wanted to be mad, but instead, I decided to be creative. I decided to do the thing that would make my life easier. I decided that I didn't have to prove anything to anybody, and I could get creative and do all I needed to do without being so stressed. And you know what I did? I called Honey Baked Ham. Thank God for them. I got my whole meal, y'all. I even got dessert from them. And that Thursday morning, before I caught my plane, I delivered a meal intact and didn't even turn on my oven once. Oh man, that's a good story right there. Thank God, number 1, for Honey Baked Ham. Did it cost me money? Absolutely, it did. Did it relieve some stress? Did it cause me not to worry? Did it solve my problem? 100%. See, it was completely worth it to me because I'm going to do what I can do to live a joyful, peaceful, stress-free, happy life. Now, does that happen every single day? No, but I work towards it. So find ways that you can make life easier. Find ways that you can be creative and you can take some of the pressure off of you. Instead of stressing and getting overwhelmed, find creative ways to make your life more joy-filled, which in turn will make your life better. You know, that could be letting go of certain relationships or ideas of who you think you should be or projects that aren't really necessary for you right now in your life. Maybe it's physical items. Maybe it's clutter in your house. Maybe it's habits that aren't building you and making a better you. You know what those things are. Remember, when you let go of things that aren't serving you purpose in your life, you're making space for the things that are most important to you. Time with your loved ones, time with your kids, with your family, with your spouse. Find ways to make life easier. Number 4, take care of you. Y'all, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't take time for your health, you'll have to make time for your healing. You gotta put yourself first. You gotta make your health and your well-being and your mental health a priority. Get your sleep, get your body moving, eat healthy. Nobody is going to take care of you like you. Become a priority in your life. You have to do what you can do to reduce worry. Corrie ten Boom said, worrying is carrying tomorrow's load with today's strength. It's moving into tomorrow ahead of time. Worrying doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. Man, that's so true. You have to do what you can to reduce worry, and you have to do what you can to reduce stress. Stress doesn't always come from what's going on in your life. It often comes from the thoughts that you're having about what's going on in your life. Do you get that? The scripture says in Philippians, don't be pulled in different directions or worried about a thing. Be saturated in prayer throughout each day, offering your faith-filled requests before God with overflowing gratitude. Tell God every detail of your life, then God's wonderful peace that transcends human understanding will make the answers known to you through Jesus Christ. My mantra is this: stress really doesn't go with my outfit. Listen, y'all, again, let me say it. You are in charge of you. Stop wearing yourself out. Identify your Von Steins. Know what's important and stick to it. Learn to say no when necessary and find ways to make life easier. And by all means, take care of you because you are needed and you are important. One more thing, this is a total bonus. You ready for it? Stressed, spelled backwards, is desserts. Oh, that's a good one right there. Listen, stop wearing yourself out. Go have a cupcake, get some coffee, enjoy life, and take care of you. Life is too short to be wearing yourself out. Take care, and until this time next week, I hope you have an amazing day.